write that down. Nintendo has been absolutely killing it with the Switch, releasing great game after great game, each one selling phenomenally, which all makes up for their past mistakes. But their consistent games has really got me thinking, what franchises does Nintendo have left? So I got thinking about it, and this topic really goes into three categories, which is franchises that Nintendo has left, sequels to games that are already on the Switch, and ports of older games. Now, there's also a sort of subcategory there with DLC, but I'm not really going to touch on that because this topic, I've been thinking about it, and I was going to put this all in one massive script, but that would just be me rambling for 40 minutes, and I don't think anyone wants to see that. So I'm splitting this up into 3 videos. I'm sorry, I didn't want to. I don't know how long a gap there'll be between the 3 of them. I hope to release them all in the same week. That's not going to happen, but that's what I want to do. So just know that I care about you, and I'm trying, but I'm going to fail. But anyway, I should probably get on to the topic of the video. Of this video specifically, what franchises does Nintendo have left? So let's start with the elephant in the room. Metroid Prime 4, which we know has been coming since E3 2017. And we just sort of knew it was coming the whole time, and then it got to 2019, and that's when people started thinking, right, okay, so they've been working on this game for about 2 years now. We might start to see some footage, or at least a teaser. Instead, we got an announcement that they're restarting development. We don't know how much they're restarting. They probably still created like the engine and assets and textures and models, which obviously they'll reuse, but they'll probably make a whole new story and a bunch of new planets and just a whole new bunch of stuff. So Metroid Prime 4 is probably going to come very late into the Switch's life, but we already knew about that. The thing I want to talk about is 2D Metroid, which, just like 2D Mario and 2D Zelda, is sort of seen as a different entity as the 3D counterpart it has. Now, obviously, with Metroid Prime 4 coming, I think wanting a whole new 2D Metroid is a bit unrealistic. But a remake in the style of Metroid 2 Samus Returns for 3DS, I think is quite... I think that's something we could expect, especially since that remake was handled by a different company. Now, which game they would remake, I don't really know. Maybe the original, maybe Super Metroid. I'm not a Metroid guy, I really don't know what I'm talking about. But I do know that a lot of people want 2D Metroid on Switch, which I think is very likely to happen. Well, that rant has been an entire video, but don't worry, nothing is going to quite be that bad from now on. In fact, the only thing I need to really talk about for any length of time apart from Metroid is Pikmin. Because if I'd written this script and I'd recorded this a few days ago, this is where I would have said, it's been so long since Pikmin 3, they must have been doing something. They must have not ported Pikmin 3 to Switch for a reason. But then a few days ago, Nintendo announced that Pikmin 3 Deluxe is coming to Switch in November. So very happy for all the Pikmin fans out there. But the main reason I want to talk about this now, instead of in a separate video, is I think this confirms that I don't think Pikmin 4 is going to come to Switch now. I do think it's in development. I do think it was intended to come to Switch, even if it was near the end of its life. But the virus and everything that's happened has pushed back development so far that Pikmin 4 is going to go to their next console, and they've created this port to satisfy the fans. Oh, Pikmin 4 could even be a launch title. That'd make a lot of new fans of the series. That'd be cool. Anyway, no, I'm ranting now. I digress. But from now on, I'm just going to be talking about series and how likely they are to get sequels. This will only be a very short video, hopefully. But I just want to touch on a few things that I don't need to rant forever for. So, first off, Bayonetta 3, which we've known is coming since the Game Awards in 2017, I believe it was. And we've heard nothing since. We got a teaser, like a very brief teaser, and we've heard nothing. So I just assume that's coming. I know that's technically not first party, but Bayonetta 2 was a exclusive for Wii U. I'm pretty sure Bayonetta 3 is going to be exclusive for Switch, so I think that's worth talking about. Star Fox's last game was Star Fox Zero on the Wii, which was perceived terribly. Like, it was not a good game. I didn't actually play it, but from what I've heard and seen, it's a pretty bad game. So, if I had to guess, I would say Nintendo's sort of taking a break from the series, at least for this generation, and then maybe we'll come back next console. Maybe they won't. I don't know, but I don't think a Star Fox game is going to come at this point. F-Zero, Nintendo just hasn't touched since the GameCube, really. Like, a few ports of stuff, but nothing really exciting, and it's not a full port. It was just brought to other consoles, so I don't think there's going to be another F-Zero, especially since Nintendo have gone on record saying they have no more ideas for the franchise, and until they do, no more games. At least for now. And of course, Nintendo was perfectly capable of just pulling a Splatoon and just pulling a completely new IP right out of their arse. And it being a success, especially since the success of Splatoon on the Wii, and especially on the Splatoon 2 on the Switch, being one of the best-selling games on there. I think that really would have boosted Nintendo's confidence in making new IPs. Will they actually make a new one for Switch? I don't know. They might do, they might not. I think this is one of the only topics I'm talking about where I just don't really have any idea. And of course, we can't forget the game people have been waiting for so long. New Super Mario Bros. Us. Here we go! I just used Mario Bros. Wii as an ending gag for 2 videos in a row. I'm running out of ideas. Stay tuned for part 2 on sequels.